Well, I thought the rom-com was dead and buried, but anyone but you has proved that with hard work and determination, you can sneak into a graveyard, dig it up, and defile its corpse. To be honest, I kind of take issue with the general rom-com format and cliches where it's all about the will they, won't they, and the climax is always them getting together in the end after they have like a late second act breakup and all that stuff. It's very formulaic, it's very tired. I understand why we haven't seen a lot of rom-coms in recent years. I take issue with how they romanticize the pursuit and not the actual building of the relationship itself. Like I said, they always end with them getting back together in the end and not overcoming an issue in the relationship together. It's always, that's not ever the victory. It's always the, okay, we're back together now. It's always dramatized about the pursuit. And it kind of just harkens back to the old ideas of, love at first sight and romance all. Yeah. And anyway, so from that regard, this isn't an issue specifically with anyone but you. It's a general issue with rom-coms. But this movie does all of the obvious cliches oh no, I walked in at the exact wrong moment and spent no time trying to figure out the context of the thing that I just saw. I just ran off in a huff. And in addition to that, the setting of this movie, it automatically puts me on the back foot in liking anything or anyone here because it's a destination wedding. And the only people who have destination weddings are rich, vapid a-holes. Now, the destination wedding itself is between a couple of women, so, we have made it, the gays. We have been upgraded to being the secondary stable romance in a rom-com. No, I haven't seen Happiest Season. That was the rom-com with Kristen Stewart. But I heard that one still had them dealing with we're still in the closet and have to hide all that stuff. And the point of having gays in a rom-com as the lead romance is not necessarily to tell the same stories that gays always have to tell in cinema, which is about tragedy and having to hide yourself. Sometimes you just want a trashy rom-com where the leads are both the same gender. But other than that, it's still the same. We deserve as bad media as everyone else gets to have, just taken for granted. The stars, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, they have decent on-screen chemistry, which is important for a rom-com, but it's not everything. You still have to build up the actual story itself. But honestly, if you want a fantastic romantic comedy that takes it to its logical conclusion and deconstructs the whole thing, don't watch a rom-com movie. Watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It is a 4-season TV series. It's a musical comedy that it really goes into, what goes on in the mind of somebody who would be the protagonist in a rom-com. Rachel Bloom and Aline Brosh McKenna were the executive producers. Rachel Bloom starred in that. I would definitely recommend that one over this. And again, I haven't gone into a lot of details on this one just because it is very formulaic. But there was one thing that I noticed that has nothing to do with the story itself. It's just at the end, they have all of the characters kind of break character and just start singing a song. And it kind of cuts between earlier scenes in the movie where it's all the characters are singing that song too. And there's one moment where Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are standing in an empty stadium singing that song. But there was no scene in the movie that took place in an empty stadium, except every other scene was something that happened earlier in the movie, which suggests to me that there was a scene set in an empty stadium that they cut for time, but forgot to cut that bit from it. Or maybe they didn't have an alternate take that they could fit into that spot, so they just left it in there. That one just felt a little bit oh, you missed this leftover. But yeah, again, if you really like rom-coms, it is one of them, but I can't recommend it. Noctope says, we deserve to be in bad movies too. Goddamn right. Although, speaking of something that looks like it might be an exciting... I don't even know if you would call it a rom-com, but has anybody seen the trailer for Love Lies Bleeding? It's Kristen Stewart and this buff, muscly girl who get involved with running away from their mobster dad or something like that. It looks really, really good. It's not quite a rom-com. It's more of a action drama comedy kind of a thing, but that one looks really good. I can't play the trailer because I'll absolutely get hit, but look up the trailer for Love Lies Bleeding. It's the gayest shit in the world. You'll go nuts for it. If you want to see a couple of cute lesbians getting married as the side plot for this movie, there's something for you here. But otherwise, I can't recommend it to you. Hey, thanks for watching. Your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. And drop a comment below telling me what you thought of the video. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays at 2, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a very special shout out to my Whaled Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone friend tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.